Like we always do, we gotta start with the Warriors. The first news that came out, really, besides the Joe Harris trade, the first real news that came out of free agency was Draymond signing his extension, 4-year deal, $100 million, player option in the fourth year, which is a big thing. Any thoughts off rip?
So
Go ahead.
did he take a? People were saying he took a pay cut.
Kind of. So that's the thing. You tell that's the kind of handshake, not handshake, but that was the benefit for both sides. So Draymond got obviously more long term money, right? He was owed $27 million on the contract the option he declined, and
okay.
this one's gonna start at $22 million, I think. But for the Warriors, with all the luxury tax bullshit and the repeater tax, they're gonna save like $43 million on that like $4 million
Yeah.
difference kind of type shit.
Just off the,
So,
okay.
but he still gets long term money, gets the flexibility of the player option at the end of the deal, which they hadn't never even given Steph. So that's kind of crazy
Yeah.
to see. So yeah, we will. The only last time they gave a dude a player option was Durant, and that's how Durant ended up being gone. So, but yeah, any initial thoughts on Draymond locking in for the next 3 seasons?
So I guess he's here.
Yeah.
I'm happy. We still got him. You feel me? We still got a lot to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to stop right here. We still gotta keep pushing, get some more new heads in there.
I like to have some positivity with Draymond, cause I feel like y'all be kind of hating sometimes still.
He just heart and soul of the team. We
Yeah, I
got
forgot,
to
yeah,
keep
he-
him.
That's why Dan was out here. So,
Yeah, no, so it'll be interesting. I think that's one of those weird where I think it's kind of the weird balance, right? There's a portion of the Warriors fan base, and I think that's who lines up with at least how Steph, Steve Kerr, and Clay think is like nothing's happening without this dude. I think Kerr was the one that said in the closeout press conferences, this isn't a championship contender without Draymond Green.
Yeah.
So it was gonna have to happen. I think from that perspective, the money he's getting makes sense. Like it could have been a lot worse. I think that he's saving them short term money is really helpful just for flexibility going forward. So there's a lot to get to it, but I get that other side of Warriors fandom that is kind of at their wits end with this guy for this, that, or the third. There's plenty of reasons, but I feel like I have to see him. I think it's always going to have to see him I have to see him not do it in the playoffs on defense, and I feel like I haven't seen it not happen yet. We got real close, maybe not on the defensive end, but we got real close in those NBA finals when he got benched, but he was very necessary the 2 games after that. So for now, I think we got to stick with it, but I don't know. I would say any other thoughts on what the Warriors are doing, but that's really kind of been it. That's the tough part. It's been more of just saying bye to people like Ty Jerome, who's not coming back. Shout out to Dante. Dante got the bag. 4 years, $50 million to go to the Knicks. He's playing with his other Villanova guys, Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. They won a national championship together, so that's kind of crazy. They all.
Get them out of here.
So I'm interested to see. Hopefully Harden doesn't swoop in and break that up or mess that thing up. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know if anything's on the table either. They seem to be kind of locked in. So I guess that's my question. If there is no other move, or if there is another move, it is like what people have been saying. Like Dario Saric seems like the thing that they probably got a track on.
I'll take Saric.
Yeah,
I'll take Saric.
Good. Before the injury, he actually was playing pretty well for the Suns like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I think if he can find that, like has a small ball 5 and has a 4 that can make some shots, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
You're just hoping you're hoping you pull off like a Bielitsa or Otto Porter instead of a Jermichael Green. And I think that's probably the last swing left. But assuming it's just like a guy like that and maybe somebody on the margins to play backup point, are y'all happy with where the core is at? Is this good enough for y'all going in, or I feel like you're thinking nah, but
Not at all.
I think we need
Not at all. They go try to use the same recipe from the years before and sign these kind of random free agents and just hope it works, and it ain't really worked. So
you see, they said Chris Paul's starting.
Chris Paul got potential.
So like that's what I'm.
That's not a good look.
That's not.
I don't want him to burn. I mean, how many years it's been in a row he got injured in the playoffs?
Yeah, that's the toughest thing. That's the toughest part with the Chris Paul part is just y'all trying to. We supposed to be making moves to win championships, and y'all got a guy who there's no even knock on Chris Paul. It's just his body ain't been able to hold up in a long time.
Yeah, I feel like the Chris Paul move would be it is a positive move, but it has to something that can't be it. Like something has to follow it. Like Chris Paul would be a great addition to a team like us that just, you feel me, lost the way we lost, but we also bringing in new pieces to where Chris Paul could just do what he got to do. But Chris Paul's not gonna be able to kind of come and do what Jordan Poole did just because of the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna burn out.
Yeah, just carrying the load. People sleep on how much Jordan Poole had to carry, how much Jordan Poole and like even Clay had to carry when Steph was out. So it's something to think about. You happy or you need something else with where we at?
We need something else. We need another. I still feel like we need another big body too. It can't just be.
Sure.
I feel like it just can't be Looney. Like especially if we rocking with this small ball lineup, seeing how it works. I don't think it's gonna work for long. I think Chris Paul is gonna end up coming off the bench, which I feel like he belongs on this team just to. Because I feel like if Chris Paul starts, then that means we bring in, like you said, another random point guard, like a Ty Jerome type of, just another player who we can't guarantee is even going to get the young players going, or the Kumingas and Moody's going. So it's like, I feel like Chris Paul has to come off the bench, and I feel like I trust him to make that decision, but I can see them starting off, just trying it out, seeing how it looks.
You see it being similar, kind of the weird reverse of the Wiseman thing, where it's like Looney's gonna get that spot eventually. You can't contain him really. It's like they're gonna realize you're just better off starting Kevon Looney.
Somebody's mic muted?
No. That's the desktop. I think we're good. Good look. So with y'all saying that, how do I want to phrase this? So are y'all all in on trading Kuminga and Moody? Because that seems like the path. If they want to add some more, it's gonna have to start there. Yeah. Y'all willing to pull the trigger?
Go ahead and do it.
If we already gonna break
wasted
up.
enough time.
Yeah.
Like none of them have worked. Not Wiseman. Poole didn't work. Poole probably was the closest to working, but it didn't work. Kuminga and Moody, they got the talent, but if you're not gonna play them, then they're useless. If we're gonna win a championship now, you know what I'm saying? It's basically we have to trade my thing. Because Poole was, if anything, gonna be the you feel me, the Steph coming. So without him, Kuminga's not gonna step up and do it, and Moody's not gonna step up and do it. So you gotta hurry up and make a decision.
Yeah, seems like maybe we didn't even know at the time, but that Wiseman move was really just the start of the end of this whole trying to buy in on the young pieces thing.
Shit, but who do we get?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the thing. We can't trade one of them. I don't think either one of them have enough leverage on their own to be a good package for us. So they got to go as a group.
So we're trading them for it would have to be for a solid bench player.
I figure, right? Because even where they're at money wise, because unless they're willing to throw Chris Paul back in the deal now. Yeah. They really can't have salary to match on somebody big necessarily, so it's going to have to be somebody like Kuminga makes it. They're both lottery picks. They both make a decent amount. Like you could turn them into I wouldn't be surprised if they can maneuver themselves into like Caruso or something like that, somebody like that. So it's like, but yeah, to your point, that's kind of the decision, right? It's not like you're back when we were thinking, oh, you can move. Back during the deadline, maybe you can move Jonathan Kuminga for OG Anunoby or some shit like that. Yeah. Like I don't think that's the place they're gonna be in necessarily. I think it will be more like a Caruso type of player.
How do y'all feel about it? Because I feel like I don't know about trading them two guys, even though I know they don't. I feel bad because I don't want them to get stuck in the role player role, which I feel like one of them has to. I trust one of them to step up and be a solid six man, but that's also on Kurgis having the trust, but. Trading them two pieces for Alex Caruso level player, and no knock on Caruso, but I still feel like we still gonna be in the same place. Like especially we gonna be in the same place. I feel like it's still. I don't know if that's gonna be enough.
I think it would be them. It would be them banking on this year being like how 2022 or this upcoming year would be like 2022. Compared to what 2021 was to like the one we just had, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the idea, like they didn't. If you looked at roster moves, like the Warriors didn't make a lot of moves to get better from that play-in loss year to the championship year. They banked on if we go away from the Kelly Oubres and we get pieces that buy in how we do it, we can win a championship, and it works. And I feel like feeling themselves probably a little too much, despite being like everybody being 2 years older, are thinking like. Caruso, just because Caruso makes sense for the type, like find guys that make sense for the way we want to play, I guess, type thing, and banking on that being the thing that works. But to your point, I don't know. I feel like 30 years is an interesting one. 30 years like the leap year, right? 30 years when young players start to kind of find themselves, and maybe like coaches start to trust them a bit more. So like maybe Kuminga's just like 12, 14 a game, like 26 minutes playing great defense all year, and it's like how could you not have this guy on the team? And maybe it's a wait and see thing. That's probably Are y'all willing to wait till trade deadline? Because that also opens up like throwing that Chris Paul money in the mix as an expire. Maybe there's a bigger name. If Kuminga's playing well, give him a chance. See, I don't know.
I don't know what you saying that now me thinking about it. Like, we're not going to get not a big name from that trade. So it's like, part of me is okay with, all right, let's just trade him and maybe try to get somebody better than a Caruso, but we just need somebody that can play. Because besides, KD, there wasn't ever no real other star we picked up. It was just the right niggas in the right positions. And it all matched together. So if we could do that again, Steph is still going to be Steph. I feel like if we reconstruct the minutes and everything, you feel me, Clay can you add something, and Draymond, of course, is still going to be who he is. So I feel like we could make something with a trade, but I also think, like, that you just got to put them out there and let them, you feel me, go through their bumps and bruises. And then by the time playoffs come, Moody held his own without playing all season.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So imagine if he was playing the whole season, he could have added way more. And then now, either it was Steph having to be, you feel me, exerting way more energy playing with that younger group, or it was Jordan Poole, who didn't have really a good year. But now we have Chris Paul coming off the bench that could play with these young cats, and we don't have to question what he's gonna do. So I don't know. It could go either way. I don't know. I don't really know which one I want, but I am willing to, you feel me, see what we can do with this group, and then by deadline we just definitely have to make a move. It can't be the same thing from this year where you know what I'm saying, we get GP back and that's it.
Nah, I feel like you were banging the Moody, just the frustration with the Moody not playing at all during the regular season, and then being the only young player you seem to be willing to trust and play. By the time the playoffs came around, it's like, I feel like you just wasted everybody's time. I like the way you said that, though, and I feel like that's the hope that they figure out the lineup and, like, yo, as much as the reports are saying, like, y'all need to figure out Chris Paul starting isn't the right answer here. Because it would be like, give me 2 months and let Chris Paul run point with Jonathan Kuminga,
that's what I want.
Moses Moody bench unit, and maybe it comes together for him. You know what I mean?
That's shit. We gonna trade Moody, and Moody gonna be popping off somewhere, and like. So I'm saying, like, wasn't Caruso? Didn't he have injuries last year? He was out a lot of last year. I'm like, bro, what's stopping Moody from just being our Caruso plus more plus younger?
I ain't gonna say y'all hating loads of Caruso. Nice.
I know he's nice.
Caruso, I guess perfect Warriors fit too. Just
injury scare me. How old is he?
He only like 28, 27. Let me see.
Man, I say if he was like 25, 26, but. He does play defense, but
that's the thing. He locks up, he moves, he can dribble. I feel like he would be the type of person to make. Ooh, he's already 29.
Exactly. I knew this nigga was. I knew it was something like 29, just coming off of.
His first.
The only thing he fits, I feel like he would just be a better DiVincenzo and a more consistent DiVincenzo. But even with that, we still lost Jordan Poole. And
it doesn't.
We can't expect Clay to be the same Clay no more. So we would need somebody. At least, you feel me, who can get a bucket off the bench and, can put the ball in the hoop. And he just seems like more of an energy guy that, you know what I mean, that can connect everything rather than somebody who's a second or another option.
It's the big question of just offense. Like, how do you score? How do you put together good offense when Steph Curry's not on the court? And that's always going to be. And Caruso don't necessarily help with that, to your point, from just looking at it, especially if you're taking. Again, for all pull out a bad season last year, but just need somebody to take the shots and score the points, So
I'm ready for Moody Unleashed.
Yeah.
I want to see.
That was kind of going around. I don't know what you think about that. People were saying part of the reason might be that the coaching staff doesn't think he has the lateral quickness to guard twos.
Who, Moody?
Yeah, which I kind of can see, but I wonder if knowing that now is like, okay, like the way this team is kind of wrapping up, especially with just like Chris Paul and Steph, it's just kind of a smaller team. It's like there's just more opportunities to play the three, maybe, especially if they're downsizing and Wiggins is playing more four. You know what I mean?
He's 6'5".
He's like a solid 6'5", 6'6". He might even be 6'7", or at least like 6'7" wingspan.
I feel like he was taller than I thought he was when I looked it up.
Yeah, no. So I think maybe that's the transition year that opens up for him. Like with everything kind of clicks with Kerr and him. If there's maybe a downshift to playing the three a little more, 6'5".
6'5".
That's no shoes. That's how they do it now, though. So he got some.
I feel like he just needs to become a solid shooter. I feel like his defense with his ladder, like just shit like that. How old is he? He's still like.
How old? He's young. That's the crazy one. He comes off like a nigga that spent a lot of time in college, but he only was there for a year. So I think he's still like 20 or 21, 22.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, 21.
His
Don't turn
nigga's only
22 till
21,
next
bro.
year, till a year from now.
This nigga has time to
11
work
months.
on all of that.
Yeah.
See,
Nah,
get
that's
it.
the thing. I want them to take the shot, man. I want to give him. I want to see Chris. I feel like y'all know. Y'all remember that OKC Chris Paul year?
Yeah.
Just nobody on this. Nobody. Neither of those guys are Shea Gilgeous like at all. Like don't. Not trying to say that, but just like just let Chris play with some young players that maybe got a good mentality. Help him out in a way. Again, there's not even a knock on Jordan Poole, just that a way Jordan Poole wasn't capable of doing last year. So we'll see. Anything else, Warriors, before we start talking about the trade requests going around?
Kuminga needs to just take a leap, and I hate it because he's only 20 years old, but I feel like he needs to. I don't know. I feel like I seen him do too much. I'm like, bro, I don't even think this nigga knows how dominant he could be.
Or he does and he's mad. Or he does and he's mad that he don't get to show.
Yeah, when your coach don't trust you.
We should know that of us playing too. Like, so we've all felt that. So you got to put him in and let him go through it. Like, don't.
I think
we got the postseason. Like, just let him go through his bumps. He gonna have bad games. Don't snatch him up. You feel me? Let him go through it. By the time playoffs come, he's gonna understand the position. And he'll step up and do something if it's just him and grabbing 20 rebounds again because he could jump that high, or if he can knock down them threes from the corner. You know what I'm saying? No matter
he got
what
really
it is.
good at it, man. I think that's the most frustrating part about the playoff thing was just like it happened. Like I don't think anybody was complaining about his minutes during the regular season by the end because he was like, especially by like between Clay, Dre, and Steph, they're all missing time, and there's like he's playing 25 minutes a night for a lot, and it's just like seems like it was one thing and happened in like game 1 or game 2 of the Kings series, and it was just a wrap for Kerr at that point. And it's just for like this whole, it's like 82 game season of him, like again feeling that shit build, man. He's having his moments. He's showing you it on defense, kind of night in and night out. At least like the willingness to try to lock up on that end, and then offense coming together. The 3-ball was falling actually. Like that corner 3 looks nice, man. I ain't gonna lie.
He's a big momentum player.
Yeah,
the Warriors run off momentum. You know what I mean? He hit a couple threes from Steph, a couple good runs, and the dunk from Kuminga. That could be huge in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We could have used that. So.
Yeah, no.
Finally got somebody who could throw him a pass. That's why I feel. That's why I feel bad for Wiseman, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie,
Chris Paul's making Jacques Landale look like a superstar this last season.
Yeah, like this nigga Wiseman didn't even get the chance going out there with Steph and Poole. This nigga Steph can't throw lobs. This nigga Poole can't. I don't know.
It wasn't even. Yeah, Chris Paul had Bismack Biyombo looking like a starter. Last 2 years.